In recent years, the name Embraer has quietly but consistently appeared in discussions surrounding the modernization of the Philippine military's air power. And now, once again, the Brazilian aerospace giant is making a serious push, this time by offering its C-390 Millennium tactical transport aircraft to both the Philippine Air Force, or PAF, and the Philippine Navy, or PN. According to the latest information, Embraer's proposal is not limited to just one role. Instead, it presents the C-390 as a multi-mission platform, tailored to meet several of the Philippines' evolving defense requirements. For the Philippine Air Force, the offer includes the standard C-390 tactical transport variant, as well as the KC-390 aerial refueling tanker version. Meanwhile, both the PAF and the Philippine Navy are being offered a maritime patrol aircraft variant, a configuration that is still under development but has already generated significant interest. This is not the first time Embraer has positioned the C-390 Millennium as an alternative to the well-established Lockheed Martin C-130J Super Hercules. As early as 2022, the aircraft was actively marketed to the Philippines as a next-generation replacement or supplement to the aging Hercules fleet. However, after careful evaluation, the Philippine Air Force ultimately chose to remain loyal to a familiar platform, placing an order for 3 C-130J Super Hercules transport aircraft. While the C-390 Millennium does outperform the C-130J in terms of maximum payload capacity, the PAF identified several operational advantages in sticking with the Super Hercules. One key factor was physical cargo hold. The longer cargo hold of the C-130J provides greater flexibility for oversized equipment, disaster relief supplies, and troop transport. Additionally, the longer operational range of the C-130J was deemed more suitable for extended missions, such as deployments to Australia and emergency humanitarian and evacuation flights to the Middle East. Equally important was familiarity. The Philippine Air Force has been operating the C-130 Hercules family since the 1970s, building decades of experience in maintenance, logistics, training, and mission planning. This long-standing relationship significantly reduces transition risks and operational costs, something that cannot be ignored in any major defense acquisition. Despite this earlier decision, Embraer has not stepped away from the Philippine market. Instead, it has expanded its pitch by emphasizing the aerial refueling and maritime patrol potential of the C-390 platform. The KC-390 aerial refueling tanker is particularly relevant as the PAF looks ahead to its future multi-role fighter fleet. The KC-390 currently uses the probe-and-drogue refueling system, similar to that found on the KC-130 Hercules tankers. This system is compatible with aircraft such as the FA-50 light combat aircraft, which already serve as a cornerstone of the PAF's air combat capability. However, complications arise when considering the next generation of fighters under evaluation by the Department of National Defense, or DND, and the PAF. Aircraft such as the Korea Aerospace Industries KF-21 Boramae and the Lockheed Martin F-16 Block 70 and 72 Viper rely on the flying boom refueling system, not probe-and-drogue. On the other hand, European fighters, including the Saab JAS-39E and F Gripen, the Eurofighter Typhoon, and the Dassault Rafale, continue to use the probe-and-drogue method. Because of this mixed landscape, the Philippine Air Force is reportedly leaning toward a solution that offers maximum flexibility. The ideal tanker, according to sources, would be capable of supporting both refueling systems, probe-and-drogue for existing aircraft like the FA-50, and a flying boom for potential future fighters such as the KF-21 or the F-16. Embraer appears to be well aware of this requirement. The company is said to be developing a flying boom system for the KC-390 to meet growing global demand. While this capability is not yet available and its eventual production status remains unclear, Embraer has already showcased computer-generated imagery, or CGI, depicting a flying boom-equipped KC-390 refueling an F-15 fighter jet. This suggests that the concept is at least technically feasible, even if operational deployment may still be years away. Beyond transport and refueling, Embraer is also positioning the C-390 as a future maritime patrol aircraft, or MPA. This version is being promoted as a potential successor to the P-3C Orion, a platform that has served many countries for decades, including Brazil itself. Compared to the Philippine Air Force's current ATR-72-600 maritime patrol aircraft, the C-390-based MPA would offer longer range, greater endurance, and higher payload capacity. That said, the competition in the maritime domain is fierce. A C-390 MPA could find itself competing not only with a C-130J configured for maritime patrol, but also with purpose-built platforms such as the Boeing P-8A Poseidon and Japan's Kawasaki P-1, both of which are already proven in advanced anti-submarine and maritime surveillance roles. At current planning, the Philippine Air Force is looking to acquire at least 2 aerial refueling tankers to support its future fighter fleet and FA-50 aircraft. Additionally, the PAF aims to field a minimum of 3 maritime patrol aircraft with anti-submarine warfare capability. These assets are considered critical for enhancing maritime domain awareness and protecting the country's vast exclusive economic zone. At the same time, the Philippine Navy is pursuing its own maritime patrol aircraft capability. Whether the Navy's specifications can be fully met by the C-390 platform, or whether it will favor a smaller and more economical solution, such as the ATR-72, remains an open question. What is clear, however, is that Embraer is positioning the C-390 Millennium as more than just a transport aircraft. It is being marketed as a strategic, multi-role asset, capable of adapting to the Philippines' long-term defense needs. While no decisions have been finalized, the renewed presence of Embraer in Philippine defense discussions signals that the competition for the country's next generation of air and maritime power is far from over. For Maximum Defense PH, this is a story worth watching closely, because every offer, every evaluation, and every future decision will shape the Philippines' air and maritime security for decades to come.